What it do? Three Dudes Fantasy Podcast coming at you. Recently, it's just been Joe and I. So I don't know if it's still the Three Dudes or it's the TDs and Beer, podcast or the, I don't know what we call ourselves anymore. Like TDs and Beer is our league name, but we might have to start changing the name of the podcast to something else too. We'll have to see how that goes.
I mean, you can go with two dudes and hopefully a third dude.
Two bearded dudes and some random person. Joe, appreciate you again joining. I want to get your cohort on here. I thought it'd be important to kind of start off with this. My thought process for this podcast is kind of changing. So the name of this is how can we make this show better? So it's week 2 recap and how can we make this show better? So we are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about week 3 matchups and stuff like that. But I'm trying to make this more entertaining for our league. I want people to join this podcast that aren't in our league and enjoy the back and forth banter. I think that's fun. I think if you're going to watch this, I want it to be entertaining. I don't care if you're in our league or not. I want this to be an entertaining podcast. I want it to be more like hey, I tuned in every week to watch this 30-minute show.
Yeah.
So that's where my head's at. That's where I'm thinking about going. To do that, I have a few ideas that I am going to float your way. And I didn't tell you this, that I was going to do this because I wanted this to be live. Fresh reactions. Yeah. Right. So the first thought I have is I want to start bringing in whoever I'm playing the next week. Right. Okay. So this week I'm playing you guys. And so I was hoping to get Mike. I understand. I asked him kind of last second, so I can't be mad about that. Right. But that's my goal. Next week I'm playing Terrence. I'm hoping to bring Terrence on. Now that doesn't mean you can't be on here, but I think it would be fun if I could get my opponent every week onto the podcast. If we can start doing that early enough, I can get everybody in at least once, right? Because we've already missed Robert. I've already played Brandon. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to play them again as the season goes on. So that's my idea. Now, I want everybody in our league, and the reason I'm doing this right off the bat, is I want this to be listened to. And I know I only going to get about 20 minutes of attention before everybody tunes out. So I'm hoping that, hey, let us know. Let me know what could we do on this podcast to be more entertaining, which includes you, right? Like if you're like, hey, this podcast has already evolved so much from what it started was. We were trying to be whatever we were. I don't know. To this, where, hey, I'm going to use this as a platform to inform the league what's going on, talk a little smack, have fun.
I agree. I mean, you and I have had this conversation numerous times already. So, I think the format that you're doing this year has turned out a lot better than what you guys did in the past. Not that it was bad in the past, but how are you gonna make yourself different? And I think the way that you're going about it, doing it, slimming it down to our league and having the banter between everyone in the league, especially with you and me, and then Brandon and everyone, getting to get viewers to watch just to be able to kind of just see how it kind of maybe you can take what we talk about and what we kind of banter about and how to apply it to your league, or maybe hey, I have a situation where hey, me and this guy are always going back and forth, and keep it fun that way.
Honestly, I was really hoping to get Brandon on because we made a huge trade, and we'll talk about that later. And I thought that would be fun to talk about. My other goal is at one point near the end of the season, before playoffs happen, I want to get everybody from the podcast on here or in the league on the podcast. And I want to break down scenarios and that kind of stuff, because I think that would be fun too. So eventually that's where I hope we get.
Yeah.
But I do want to hear everybody's ideas. If you love this format, fantastic. Tell me. If you think we could do something better, tell me. That's why I want to hear. I want to know what we could do better. And if you're not in the league, tell me, right? What is entertaining? What are you finding fun on this? Do you like when we banter? Or would you rather get a little more fantasy news? Do you want to hear about our teams in particular? What is everybody looking for out of this? I would say I had an idea, and the idea was for our league. Now that doesn't mean it can't grow into whatever it needs to be, but that's where my head is right now.
Yeah.
All right. Banter aside, 5 minutes of Steven ranting done. Thank you for listening. Let's get into a little news and updates. Again, just like last week, I'm just going over all the stuff that happened. Nothing huge. I'm not going to get into everything, right? But I am going to get into the bigger news so that we can all go over it.
Sure.
Lad McConkey, so he didn't practice Wednesday, but he did practice today. He has a bicep injury. I think it's just important to keep an eye on. I mean, Keenan and Quentin Johnson, get into your lineups. Well, they probably should be anyways, but just keep an eye on it, right? Mecca Ibuka, he did not practice again because of his hip. He had that hip injury in week 2. He played through it. I don't know if he's going to play through it right now. I don't think it's serious enough where you have to worry long-term, but he might miss this week, which sucks, but
the dude's been... Mike Evans, you should be happy.
Yeah. Mike Evans should have a good game. Emeka Ibuka has been taking more targets away from Mike Evans than I expected. So we can get into that if we want to, but keep an eye on it. Not practicing on Thursday can be bad.
Yeah.
But it sounded, so initial reports was he was going to go. It really sounds like the team's holding him back. So keep an eye on it. Right.
Yeah. I would say probably with a final update tomorrow. Usually like Friday's updates are usually like a clear sign if they're going to go or not.
And Adam Schefter will say something. Like, I'm not going to be a doctor. Xavier Worthy notes are saying that he's trending towards playing. I will say this. What I read, now again, not a doctor, said he's got a torn labrum and he's still thinking about playing. I can't imagine how bad it hurts to put your arm up with a torn labrum, let alone get hit on a football field. Just because he's playing, I don't think that means you should start it.
I don't think so either.
I'm actually more concerned that it could end up being more serious. Like, it feels like rushing him back could be worse.
Yeah.
So I think you and I kind of agree. I'm probably still starting Hollywood Brown, but I don't think I'm putting Xavier Worthy in my lineup this week.
I mean, you'd be the only one you're starting because Kansas City's offense hasn't been flowing unless you have Patrick Mahomes and
Travis Kelce's. I mean, he's been getting in the end zone.
Yeah.
Whatever. Travis Kelce being Travis Kelce, and he's a tight end. You kind of got to do it. Jaden Reed had surgery on his collarbone, but he also had foot surgery. So they're just saying he's out indefinitely. One of the doctors I follow, and I apologize, I don't know his name off the top of my head. I have to go through my X feed, but he said that a broken collarbone is usually an 8 to 12 week recovery time. But with the foot, it could be season ending. Obviously, they haven't ruled that out yet, but it doesn't sound good. Out indefinitely is never a good.
That's never a good sign if you're hearing that.
Probably fantastic for Romeo Doubs.
Yep.
I think he could end up being the player who kind of steps in for him. Matthew Golden could be having an upswing. Doesn't seem like Jordan Love's looking for him right now. He feels like a player you hold. Or I don't know. I think you just hold him.
Yeah.
In one of our leagues that we do together, it's an 8-man league. I dropped him. It's so hard in that league, especially because it's such a small league. I don't want to sit on him.
No, I mean, if in a format like that, like there's plenty of other talent available, like to where you don't have to hold on to him. And then it seems like with like Tucker Kraft, if you don't have him, you want him.
Yeah,
because he's the one that's getting fed right now.
Yeah, Tucker Kraft he had a monster game. Gosh, that was crazy to watch. I was sitting there going, okay, Tucker Kraft to the moon. I don't, whatever. Last but not least, Aaron Jones got put on IR. You and I actually, the reason I put this one on there, I think everybody knows he got put on IR, but you and I, before the season, were both in on Jordan Mason. I think I sniped him from you like right before you were going to take him.
Yeah.
In our league. Yeah. And I did that for this reason. Aaron Jones is always out, and I liked Jordan Mason's potential.
When Christian McCaffrey was hurt last year, he filled in nicely until he got hurt.
Yeah.
So,
No, I agree. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
The other thing is, though, are you concerned at all that JJ McCarthy's now out? He looked terrible. So, I mean, it can't be much worse, but does it hurt the run game?
I think it depends. Like, if they're going to stack the box, then maybe. But on the other side of that, you have Justin Jefferson. So, I'm like, Carson Wentz is a capable backup, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's Jetta. So, I'm like, I'm not really – if they're going to stack the box, then you would imagine that they're going to throw to Jefferson then at that time. So, like, I think it's a wait and see for that. Like, I think Jordan Mason should still be used as a starting running back, but I really won't know until I think we see this Sunday.
That's fair. Sorry, I am looking up because the Dolphin game is on. I got home late, and I appreciate you doing this. I'm just watching like, oh, Dolphins still suck. Okay.
Mark, why do you want to watch it then?
Week 2 recap. So I'm going to have the thing scrolling at the bottom, unlike last week where we went team by team. I'm thinking we'll just do a quick recap, more touch on our games, right? Because we're the ones here. I don't mind touching on everybody's game, but I don't think I can add as much value as I want to. And then we'll get into our week 3 previews. So I just went in order by Yahoo. Obviously, it's going to be in order by me because I'm on top of my page. So the first game was me versus Robert. I ended up losing that game by, I think, like 3.5 points. It was a crazy game. Because I was up by like 2 points and he had Omari and Hampton. I was like, oh, I've lost this. And then there's a good stretch where I was like, I could win. and then he pulled away. So unfortunately with that, I overthought it, which I mean, I told you not to overthink. And then I proceeded to overthink it. I put in Justin Fields because of his big week. I sat Kenneth Walker. Everything I could have done wrong, I did wrong. Right. I'm not too worried about it. Right. Like it sucks. I lost by 3 points. I could be 2-0 just as easy. And I could have had a much better week. I overthought it. I analyzed way too much and said, oh, I need to do X, Y, and Z. Just sometimes after week 1 and 2, I think you probably just want to start your guys you drafted high, unless somebody else is blowing up. I didn't trust Justin Fields. I just was like, all the experts were like, oh, he's amazing. And I was like, yeah, he does 30-point games and then follows it with 3-point games. So not much more to add. Robert always puts together a great team. So the fact that he won, I'm never sad by it. I don't mind being 1-1. No big deal. So
sure.
Next game was Your Mom Digs My Penix versus Lamar Azard. So Brandon versus Aaron. Aaron pulled this one out. Aaron is one of our 3-2-0 teams. So Brandon 0-2. He's lost both of his games by 5 points or less. Yeah. So I don't think
like they're blowouts.
Right. I don't think his team's terrible, but in the same breath, he's also been near the middle of the pack on scoring. So I know Brandon's worried. His team is getting hurt. Like he is losing players left and right. When we talk about the trade a little bit later on, he was like, dude, I'm losing everyone. So, and Aaron just being classic Aaron, right? Drafts an old man team and they just consistent.
I mean, consistent. I'm like, you draft veteran guys, and I'm like, if they're going to hit, they're going to hit.
His team it always makes me laugh. He never has that blow up player, but he also never has a guy who's just like, oh God, that guy put up 2. Like, he's just like, oh, my team put up 15 a person. Like, okay, I win. Fun game. Nothing more to say about Aaron. Next is Jacob versus Sarah. So Sarah had neighbors. Neighbors went off.
Yeah.
She won the game by 4. Again, Jacob puts up a solid team every time. Sarah's team, Sarah is the opposite of Aaron, right? It's I'm going to score a lot or I'm going to score a little. There's no in between. The funny thing is, and this is just me speaking because she's my wife, so I can speak a little bit here. I gave her a bunch of help for the first 7 to 8 rounds. And then I kind of said, hey, you got to kind of play it by yourself, right? So I said, hey, these are the players, kind of figure it out. And then I just gave her the sleeper app and said, hey, go to town. She ended up drafting Tootin and Alec Aomar. I cannot say his name. The Tennessee rookie wide receiver. Both of them ended up being huge waiver wire pickups. So I was like, damn, maybe I should start doing that, right?
I mean, why not? I mean, you're giving your own wife advice to use a specific app that we use for our Dynasty League, and yet you're not thinking to actually use said same app. It's like, okay, come on now.
I know. But you know what? I didn't want to step on anybody's toes. So I didn't want people to be able to say like, oh, you're just drafting another team for yourself, that kind of stuff. So I helped her. I'm not going to say I didn't help her, but I more guided her towards things that I knew would help her more.
She's still learning how to do everything. Well, she's been playing fantasy for a few years now, but still, it's like it takes some time to get comfortable with knowing what you're doing. So
right. Sarah wants to jump in here. She
Hi,
hears
Sarah.
me talking smack.
Yeah.
I don't know how we could be talking smack.
Me.
See, I liked Sarah. I enjoyed your question earlier. Like, see, that's how going back to what Stephen was saying about Sarah learning stuff that she.
Sorry. I don't know
The
how to
question
do
she was asking us
technology.
earlier that she's, that's a good sign that she's improving and knowing what she's talking about.
Right. So just so everybody knows, Sarah asked a question about what are the red things on Yahoo mean next to a team's name. And you know what? Valid question.
Yeah.
In fairness, it took me I think I learned 2 years ago what it meant. I finally looked it up. I was like, what is this? And it's just telling you what the defense that they're going against is doing against players at that position, right? So, this player is going against the 32nd best or the first best team against tight ends.
Mhm.
Hey, so tight ends don't score a lot against them. Valid question. No, like I said, I thought it was good. I was just more of giving her a compliment of, you know what? I honestly thought Sarah was going to take Ashton Gentry, and she said, I'm taking Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
So she made her own choices. I just kind of give her players to look for.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to lie and say I didn't give her all my sleepers. I wanted Emeka Ibuka. She drafted right in front of me. I was not going to tell her that stuff.
You want to help your wife. You want to help your wife, but at the same time, it's like it's your league. You want to win.
Right. Exactly.
He doesn't help me. Just so you know, he really doesn't. I ask him questions. That's why you guys get text messages randomly, because I'll ask him a question. Should I start this player or this player? And he goes, it's your team. You got to make the choice.
She also asks when I'm at flag football, and I'm like, dude, I am trying to stretch.
On Sundays.
Probably not a good time to ask Sarah, especially when we're getting ready to go play flag football.
Yes.
Well, I know, but the games start.
Yeah, but our minds are not in the moment of thinking, oh, our fantasy lineup. Usually we'll do that an hour before we're about to go out there.
I do that before I wake up at 7 or 6 and do that till 7, and then I go.
But then you don't get the latest news. What if somebody's getting put in? But what if somebody is getting put in, or someone's actually going to be taken out and they're not actually going to play?
That's the risk it takes.
Joe and I we have a disadvantage against everyone, and Mike, because we play football on Sunday, so we guess a lot of the time and go.
I play football on Sunday too.
Yeah, but you didn't play this weekend. You were asking me questions while I was getting ready to play football. Okay, I'm taking this back. I love you. All right. Next game. So I wanted to talk about this game a little bit. JJ is blowing out everyone.
Yeah.
JJ is the highest scoring team. I think he has 60-point difference between us and the rest of the league. So yeah, he's 2-0, but he's 2-0 by a wide
margin.
Mm-hmm. It's not even close. So, JJ won. I will say this. All of the teams this week besides JJ were super close games. JJ had the biggest blowout, and it was a 14-point game. So it's not like it was a massive – every game was super close, which is what I love about our league.
Yeah.
If the biggest blowout is a 14-point game, it's great. I do feel a little bad for Terrence, who's the second highest scoring team. He just played the highest scoring team. Fuck fantasy sometimes, right?
Well, I mean, when we get to ours, yes.
Yes. JJ's team is he's killing it. I mean – JJ said he's gonna draft different, and you know what? Not only did he draft different, but he did it well enough where his team's executing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't emphasize that enough. I've said the last few times that I've been on here. It's hearing him say that he's gonna go with a different draft strategy. It's okay, well, let's see, and then he actually does it. You can see the effort that it's showing. He's dominating. Again. Within our league standards, he's killing it. So kudos to him. I'm he's doing an awesome job right now.
Yeah, so JJ is the highest scoring team at 336. The next player's at 282. So JJ has a 50-point advantage on everyone else in 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. It's a big thing because last year, I can think of this last year because I know Mike and I had the highest scoring last year, and we ended up finishing with the number 1 seed. So I'm having just that kind of cushion. I'm in the end, it might not mean much. It might, but just being able to see that kind of total, it makes you feel good and confident in what you're doing with your team.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to give some props to JJ. I will always give him crap because I believe in giving crap to JJ. I think it's hilarious. But you know what? Mad props, JJ. You did execute your draft well.
Killing it, man.
He probably is a little concerned because he did have T. Higgins and he did go down, but Joe Burrow went down. I forgot to include that on it. Hey, Joe Burrow's out for like 3 to 4 months. So, whatever. I should have probably included that. That was terrible fantasy.
Well, he needed blocking, and clearly he's not getting blocked. He wasn't getting blocking. So.
I think I'm just going to draft Joe Burrow every other year.
That seems to be the trend, because he got hurt in 2023. He was fine last year, and then this year,
Right. So like I'm only drafting him on even years, and I'll only draft. That's when I'll draft Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Like every even year, I'm out. Like next year, I'm in. The 2027, I'm out again. Like I'm
fair enough.
I did want to backtrack a little bit. I wanted to call out Brandon. The ongoing joke I have with Brandon is he is the keeper killer. Every year he keeps somebody, and every year they end up underperforming. Ladd McConkey, I still think can be great, but I almost want to know who he's going to keep every year, so I don't draft them in any other league.
So who did he keep the year before?
I think the year before that was like a wide receiver that was supposed to be all right. Like, dude, he's just.
I'll have to remember.
He's kept some players that I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's not a bad keeper. And then every year it's like, oh, that's a bad keeper. Like that player sucks for some reason.
Or I know we could.
Michael Pittman. It was Michael Pittman last year.
It was Michael Pittman. Yes.
Mm-hmm. But remember, Michael Pittman was supposed to be good because Anthony Richardson was gonna be the second coming, and it's like that every year where he's like, oh, I'm gonna keep this guy because he's gonna kill it, and then Keenan Allen comes in and just kills Ladd McConkey, or I'm like, what is happening? Like, Brandon is the Madden curse.
Well, that, and then keep that in mind because I'll bring it up during the trade section because I'm pretty sure he's got a curse on like your guys' trade too. So
I know I wanted to talk to you about that too. I wanted to talk to you. So we're on the same page.
Okay.
Because I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, Joe's going to talk about that. But I think we're on the same page there. Last one is you guys. So again, I said, fuck fantasy. This is the smallest margin of victory. So you guys lost by 0.18 to Ryan.
Yep.
Talk me through that. Ryan's 2-0. What are you guys feeling?
I don't know. I haven't really talked to Mike this week. I could tell you, like, when the game was going on, I was not having a good day. So, and typically after playing fantasy for almost 20 years, like, you get to the point to where it's like, you're going to lose games, you're going to win games. And typically if I lose a close game, I'm like, it is what it is. I'm like, I probably could have done better. Got to go reevaluate and all that stuff. I was not pleased because Monday was not a very good day. And then just seeing that, and then just seeing like, can Genty just do something? Like, can the Raiders just get him the ball? Like, literally, I was sitting there on the couch watching the game. I'm like, just throw him one more ball. If he just gets one more reception, regardless
it could be negative 4 yards. I don't care.
Negative 4 yards. I don't give two shits. I'm like, we will beat Ryan by like 1 point. And the fact that these guys like decided to put in, I think it was it White? Zamir White? I can't remember who they put in.
Yeah, they played a lot of Najee and Zamir White at the end of the game.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? I understand why they took him out because, like, in real football, like, he was not doing a good job in pass protection. But still, I'm like, he's one of your best players out there. Why the hell do you not have him out there? I just need one catch, please.
Yeah. It's one of those weeks. So I know you guys aren't panicking, and I'm not panicking either. The rookie running backs they're not looking as good as we expected. Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton. I was a huge Omarion Hampton fan, and he hasn't looked fantastic. Ashton Genty has not looked good. In the same breath, it usually takes the rookies a longer time to get going. Emeka Ibuka. So this is why I do want to get into this. Emeka Ibuka is the exception, not the rule.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, Puka Nacua, an exception.
Exception to the rule, yeah.
Most of the time, rookie like Brian Thomas Jr. looked like crap until week 10.
Yep.
And ended up as a top fantasy receiver.
Yeah,
and Malik Neighbors had a really strong week 1, but hadn't had 2 really bad games. Marvin Harrison did not live up to the hype, but I don't think he's bad. You know what I mean? Like, I think most of the time we expect these rookies to come in and just dominate the league because they dominated college. Well, they dominated college because most of those players aren't playing in the league.
Yep.
So just something to point out.
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
Done with week 2. Moving on to week 3. So I'm glad you're here. Again, we'll talk about the other matchups, but it's you and Mike versus me this week. You guys are off to a nice little start. Obviously, we're doing this during the Dolphin Bills game. The Bills and Dolphins just tied the game. It's 21-all. Dalton Kincaid, 17 points. That's who you guys have on your team.
Yep. 17.6 right now.
And you know what? You were probably ecstatic, right? You were probably hoping for 7 to 10.
Yeah. With Kincaid, I was hoping just for his regular, I think what he was projected for like 10.6 something. And the fact that he's got 17, I'll take it.
Yeah, 17. So he's projected for 8.7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kincaid is killing him right now.
Yep.
I'm watching him. The Dolphin can't seem to guard him at all, which has always been a Dolphin problem. But, you know, I from my perspective, Thursday night games are the worst feeling in the world. I actually hate Thursday night games so much from a fantasy perspective. I'm never sure if I should start the players. You never know how it's actually going to go. And then you feel one of two ways. Like if you have a player and they underperform, you're like, oh, I'm going to lose this week. Or if you have a player and they overperform and you're on the other side, you're like, oh, I'm going to lose this week. It's one player, so it usually doesn't work that way. But gosh, Thursday night games are absolutely the worst in my opinion. And now, granted, this is going to come out after, but some words of advice for everybody else. Start your Thursday players in your regular lineup, not your flex spot.
Yes.
If you are starting I don't care if it's Keon Coleman. If you're starting Keon Coleman this week, he needs to be in your wide receiver spot, not your flex spot. Because if somebody gets hurt, let's say Emeka Ibuka, and you do not know until game time, you can put a running back in for him. I cannot do that if my flex spot is already filled by Keon Coleman. PSA. It's one of my biggest pet peeves when I see people do that.
No, it's a big huge pet peeve and something we've had this conversation plenty of times. And because you and I play in multiple leagues, you know me, I play in like 20 something leagues. Like I'm in a league that has like 6 different flexes. And I did have that. I had Keon Coleman in my flex. I'm like, crap, I have to swap that out. It's just like, I'm just going to pretty much repeat what you said. It's like, if it's a Thursday night game, or even like if it's like a Friday or Saturday night game, make sure that if you're going to start any of those players, put them in your main slots, just so that you have your flex spots freed up on the off chance that, like you just said, Ibuka is injured right now. We don't know if he's going to go, and you have him slotted. If you have him slotted in your wide receiver position, he doesn't go, you're screwed. You can't.
You have to start a receiver.
You have to start a receiver. You can't start a running back or a tight end or a super flex or whatever it is. It might be.
And the other side of that is your Monday night players, if you can, should be in your flex.
Yes.
Right.
Always.
Because if I'm starting, let's use Ashton Genty as the example. If I'm playing Ashton Genty, I 100% expect him to go. He tweaks his big toe. And I'm using that because I always feel like that's the least worst issue. Of course, I say that, and Joe Burrow is out for the season with his big toe. But let's say he, stubs his pinky toe right before the game. He can't run. You can go pick up, Thornton off the waivers or somebody like that and put him in your spot. And it doesn't have to be Ashton Genty. So
exactly. Yep.
That's why I say your Monday player should be in your flex. Thursday players should be in your starting line.
I would say Sunday night players too. If
agreed. Sunday as well. Yep. Your latest starting player should be in your flex.
Yep.
No matter who it is.
Yep. I agree.
Okay. So that's our matchup this week. No matter what happens, if you go 0-3 or I go 1-2, I'm not worried about it. So I don't start worrying about my team until week 4. I know that sounds weird. Historically in our league, 7-7 makes the playoffs. Now, last year we had 4 teams at 7-7. 2 of them made the playoffs, 2 of them didn't. So that's a unique situation. But as an example, you have 7 losses throughout the 14-game season to still make the playoffs. Granted, I know nobody wants to be there, but that doesn't mean you can't make it. The year before, 6 and 8 made the playoffs. So 7-7 has just always been my example. So like, hey, 1-2, okay, I just have 5 more losses to give. That's fine. You can go on a run of 3 or 4 game win streaks, and then all of a sudden your team looks fantastic.
Well, yeah, you're playing to make the playoffs. And however way you get in is how you get it. That's how I see it. Like, yes, it'd be nice to be in the top to get like the buy or whatever, but honestly, once you're in, anything can happen. It's luck at that point.
I agree.
That's how I've always seen it.
Yeah. So I forget the fantasy person who said it. So I'm stealing their quote, so I apologize. It says it might have been Matthew Berry. He said, "Skill gets you to the playoffs. Luck wins you a championship."
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Skill gets you to the playoffs, right? I drafted a team. I picked up waiver wires. Then it's luck.
It is luck. I mean, I remember when we were in the playoffs and we played against each other, and you lost by remember. By Alshon Jeffrey, I think it was.
Alshon Jeffrey. I was down by 4 points. Oh, my God. You're bringing back like PTSD.
I know.
Okay.
But I'll always remember that, though, because of the fact that I was sweating watching that game, too.
So championship, it was the championship. It wasn't just the playoffs. Yeah. It was a championship game. I was down by 4 points with Alshon Jeffrey left to go, who hadn't had a game worse than 11 all season. All season, nothing worse than 11. Worst game was 11. The dude proceeds. I don't even think it was 4 points. I think I needed 2 or something. It
was super close. Like, it was super close. Like, I couldn't believe. Like, I think he had a catch, and then they took it back because of a holding penalty or something like that. Mike and I were losing it.
You know what killed me about that too is that would have been, I believe, my first championship. So yeah. I'll never forget that moment because of it, right? Like, I won the next year and then I went on a little streak, but I'll never forget because that was one of those moments where I was like, I'm going to win. I'm finally going to win a championship. And then the fantasy gods were like,
not today, buddy.
Early, bro. Taking it. Nope, he's not doing anything. And I was just like, you're killing me. Like, I'm going to cry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you should be happy. You won. I just remember thinking,
I'm happy
like,
I won, but I'm trying not to derail everything right now. So.
Yeah. Robert versus Aaron. So 1-1 versus 2-0. Aaron's the one who brought Robert in the league. So, does he get to show him who's daddy or not? I will say this. This week's matchup's already kind of going a little wrong for him because let me look real quick. Let's see. Robert already has 20 points from Josh Allen. So he's not killing it. He's not going off for 50, but he still got 20. It's right now projected at a 50-50% win.
Okay.
I thought it was fun just because the games are going, so we have a little bit of an advantage on this week.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next is Jacob versus JJ. So I don't know. This one is kind of crazy. I can never tell with JJ because he never sets his lineup.
Yeah, he does that thing that Mike likes to do where he'll set like his quarterback and then his tight end, and then he'll leave everything as blank. And you giving your opponent the thing is like, oh, I'm projecting
false illusion of winning.
It's like, why is he only projected to score 50 points? And it's because they don't have their players in their lineup.
Yeah, JJ's already scored 20 points from James Cook, so he's looking pretty good. But I can't tell who's going to win. It's probably like JJ's team is still dominant right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who's next. So after that, we have Sarah versus Brandon. So Brandon started Keon Coleman. So Brandon did the same thing. He didn't put his team in his lineup. So he just has Keon Coleman in there. So I can't tell you who's projected to win because there's no team in there. Keon Coleman right now has 5 points, but the Buffalo Bills are driving. Keon Coleman kind of seems to be his red zone target.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. And then the other 2-0 team versus the 0-2 team. So you have Ryan versus Terrence. Let me look real quick. Ryan right now, sorry, I have to find it. I'm looking over on my phone. Oh, somebody just caught a touchdown. Shakir caught the touchdown. So not unfortunate for Brandon.
But fortunate for Robert.
Yes. So right now, Terrence has Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane. They've combined for 35 points. Oh, and Jordan Brooks. So he's got 35 points. Ryan has Shakir, who just scored that touchdown. So it hasn't updated on my phone yet, but he's going to probably be, I think it was like a 20-yard touchdown. It was a catch. So what is that? 9 points. So he'll be at 15. Ryan right now should be projected to win with that, I believe. Or it's close, 50-50 still.
Well, I take this matchup as the power of who's going to win between the Dolphins and the Chiefs, since Terrence
it's
has
Chiefs
most of the
versus Dolphins,
and Ryan has most of the Chiefs. So
yeah, fair enough. It's 100% fair. It's funny. You're right. They're the two homers in the league. Like you're like, all right, how many Dolphins can you draft? It sucks. As a Dolphin fan, I hate having two other Dolphin fans in the league because it's like I'm never going to draft a Dolphin because I always draft my team to win, not necessarily for fandom. So it makes me sad. I'm just sad. All right.
it's okay.
Okay. Thanks.
I mean, nobody's going to draft my players because I'm like, why would they? We're a bunch of cheaters. So
honest to God, though, like nobody drafted the Patriots even when they were good, except for Gronk. Like even Brady was never drafted that high.
I think the only year that I can remember that he was drafted high was when I first started playing fantasy. Was the
Randy Moss year?
The Randy Moss year, yeah.
Yeah. Which was like
fantastic. And then the 2008 year, but towards ACL. So
yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Let's see. So next up is our waiver wire thoughts. There wasn't a lot going on. I just wanted to touch on it.
Sure.
Brandon put in a claim for Wan'Dale Robinson for 21. Next highest bid, I think, was 11. What are your thoughts on that?
$21 for who again?
Wan'Dale Robinson.
Oh, yes. So sorry. I don't know why I thought he was Rondell Moore. Sorry.
Not Rondell Moore.
No, that's why I was like, I had to double check that for a second there. No, I like to pick up because I know we put a $0 bid for some reason because we like $0. We don't like spending money. But anyway,
you guys have literally put $0 bids on everybody.
On everything. I know it's been 2 weeks, but maybe one day. Anyway, no, I think it was a good.
Real quick, I'm going to derail you a little bit. Yeah, your partner in crime was the one who told me. He gave me the stat. The first 2 weeks are usually when you find the waiver wire pickups of the season, and you have proceeded to put in $0 bids.
Yeah. Well, if you guys would stop copying us and, take our advice seriously, we would be able to get that player with 0 bids, but you guys keep doing 0 bids too and then putting money on them. They're like, well, we could see that I bet Joe or Mike are going to put like a 0 bid down, so I'm going to put like however much. It's like, thanks, guys.
Sorry to derail. So what is your opinion on Rondell Robinson?
I think he's clearly the number 2 in that offense. So I'm like, if New York is going to be airing it out like that, if they can sustain that, then I mean, why wouldn't you throw fab at him for a flex pickup? I mean, I think it just depends on, again, literally who they're playing, because I'm like, Dallas's defense clearly is not that great at the moment. So, and then Russell Wilson decided, well, I'm gonna, people were shitting on me first week. Well, I'm just gonna, play Jameis, throw in my inner Jameis Winston and just chuck the ball out and see what happens.
He's down there somewhere.
Yeah, literally, like, I think that's Neighbors done it. No, that wasn't Neighbors. That's Robinson. So yeah, I think it was a good pickup. So, because Brandon was the one that you said that made the claim, right?
21.
I can see why, because I know he was hurting at wide receiver with all the injuries that he's dealing with right now. So it makes sense why he would bid for that player.
Yeah, I think you have to. If you really want a player, you got to put in a strong bid. I agree. Next one is Robert grabbed Franklin from Denver. So he had that big game last week, the sophomore wide receiver. He's their leading target receiver right now.
Yeah. Another guy we put a 0 bid on, who, looking at it, I probably should have just put money on him because I had been seeing the target share with him, and I'm like, he's getting more targets than Sutton right now. So, and it would make sense because him and Nix played on the same team together in Oregon. So I'm like,
yeah. Well, and Sutton is getting double teamed. Sutton's the main target. Like, he's the one taking all the. Yeah, no, I agree. I didn't hate the bid. I think I put in 0 too.
Yeah.
I didn't need him. So for me, it was like I like him, but I don't love him. I'm not going to put in a bid, but I'm not going to let anybody get him for free.
True. No, that's fair.
I think I put $1 bid in. Next was Zach Ertz. So Aaron picked up Zach Ertz. He has Mark Andrews. I put in a $2 bid for Zach Ertz. I like the pickup. Zach Ertz looked like the main target in the red zone for Jaden Daniels, and with his knee injury, I think that just continues.
I do agree. Yep.
And for $10, I kind of wish I would have put in 11. I just didn't know how much to bid, and I'm tired of bidding on tight ends. Like personally.
Well, I mean, what you were doing last week and this week, I'm like, you're just picking up a tight end each
Dude,
day. So literally, I'm just waiting to see which tight end you want to pick up tomorrow.
I hate tight ends so much. I hate tight end. I drafted George Kittle so I would not deal with this problem, and I'm so like this is when I start to hate fantasy, right? Because I didn't. This is why I got. This is why I got frustrated. So I wanted Dallas Goedert. I wanted consistency and a guy I didn't really care about. Like, I don't need you to be great. I just need you to give me 10 points. And then he hurts his knee. This is why I'm upset is I could have picked up Juwan Johnson at the exact same time, decided, nah, I already got Dallas Goedert. And literally 5 hours later, he goes and says, oh, he's not playing. And I was just like, I could have picked up Juwan Johnson in that 5 hour time frame between when I picked up or when I picked up Goddard at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then when I was told he wasn't going to play, JJ picked him up. He was free. Like nobody put in a waiver claim at all. And so that's why I was like, oh, I hate myself so much. That's why I am playing Kyle Pitts right now.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't want to play Kyle Pitts.
I mean, if it helps, like if he doesn't do well, I mean, we can drop Kincaid and you can try to pick him up then, and we'll pick someone else up because clearly we don't care.
I'm not going to play Brenton Strange. Trevor Lawrence looks god awful. The only other player I've debated is Hunter Henry, but I am playing tight end roulette right now, and I hate tight end roulette. It's why I drafted a tight end.
Well, the fact that you're looking at my team's tight end and you're a Dolphins fan and I'm a Patriots fan, I'm like, that tells you.
No, I'm a fan. I'm a fantasy football fan of my fantastic team. Nothing else. The Dolphins suck, and they make me sad every Sunday. Screw the Dolphins.
Okay.
Or Thursday or Monday, whenever they're going to play, I just get to be sad that day, and then we move on. Those were all of our bids. So that was it. Nothing everything else was just, yeah. I picked up Woody Marks. I don't think you guys made any other waiver moves.
No, because that was the guy we were looking at.
Woody Marks?
Yeah, you know Mike.
Yeah, I like him. I knew exactly. I thought exactly like Mike. I better pick up that guy. No, he didn't even tell me. I just was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I can't even pick up Hunter Henry. It looks like he got picked up at 4:00 this afternoon while I was at football practice. So you know what? I'm looking at no one.
Okay.
I'm Kyle Pitts is my starting tight end.
Okay.
And you know what's going to happen? He's going to get injured, and I'm going to have to pick up like a Conqueror.
But don't say that. I mean, like I have him on a different. I have him in Dynasty. Don't say that.
Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I might have to play like Brenton Strange. This is my life. All right, trade. So, a few things I want to talk about. Brandon and I made a huge trade. I already know you're going to tell me it's doomed. I know why, but I do want you to say. So I'm fine with you saying that part. I want to talk about the trade part first. So
go ahead. I'll save my stuff for the end.
I think every year I always make one trade with Brandon every year.
Yeah.
Every year, everybody says the same thing, and I think it's hilarious. Steven, you fleeced Brandon. And every year I walk away with the worst end of the deal on the trade. While Brandon might be the keeper killer, he is the trade trickster. He always makes the trade look bad for him and then walks away with a better player out of the deal. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm clearly a bad trade player. But what I want to talk about is how I proceed on trades. Okay.
Yep.
So I think it's important because I make more trades in the league than anyone else. And I don't think I do anything different than all of you guys. I think I do one step extra that I don't believe anybody else does. So first thing I do, I text Brandon this morning and I said, hey, you look pretty thin at wide receiver. Are you interested in a trade? And he goes, yeah, I think the only thing I have for you is a tight end. He has Trey McBride. I have George Kittle coming back. While I do not want to play tight end roulette, I do not want to have Trey McBride and George Kittle. I don't want to also have too many assets where then I'm taking a hit on an asset because I'm panicked, right?
Totally.
And I think George Kittle comes back. I don't want to play that game.
Sure.
So I said, hey, you have something I'm interested in Lamar Jackson. This is what I'm willing to do. And so I text him all that stuff. And I told him I'm interested in trading for him. If you're interested in the idea, if he would have said no, I would have looked to see if there was anything else we could accomplish. But I said, I'm interested in Lamar. I can give you Emeka Ibuka or Jameson Williams and Bo Nix. And I also know Brandon likes to use the Fantasy Pros trade guide.
Yep.
So that's the first thing I did. I went to the trade guide. I truly believe that any player who's giving up the better player should win the trade by 10%.
Yep.
You're giving up the better player. You need to win. So on the trade guide, it said Emeka Ibuka and Lamar Jackson were even. And Bo Nix was 8. So technically, he won the trade by 8%.
Okay.
Right? Not fantastic, but within the realm of understanding.
Yeah.
Emeka Ibuka and Lamar Jackson are even. I don't think they're even. I think Lamar Jackson's a little better, but I understand their process because every trade guide I looked at, because I personally like to use Dave Richards' trade guide from CBS, they all had it within a similar points. Lamar Jackson on Dave Richards, I think, was 21, and Emeka Ibuka was 16. On Fantasy Pros, they were both 29, right? Like they all have.
That's what I use. So yeah.
Right. They all have relative numbers. It doesn't matter. They were both 29. Bo Nix was 8 on that one. On the other, on Dave Richards, Bo Nix was, I think, 9. So him getting Emeka Ibuka and while he was winning the trade, again, I still believe you need to win more if you're giving up the better player. So that's the second thing. I truly believe that. And I'm always very upfront and honest. Like, this is what I see. This is what I'm doing. And I say that because I don't want people to feel like I'm cheating them, right? This is where I'm looking at the information. If you don't agree with it, we can talk about it and go from there. But this is the guide I am using because I believe being upfront and honest is important.
I agree.
So that's the first thing so I sent him a trade. I said, "Are you hurting at receiver?" He said, "Yes, I am." I said, "Are you interested in trading Lamar Jackson?" He said, "Yes, I am." I said, "Okay, let me offer you this." And again, I gave him Emeka Ibuka or Jameson Williams because it depends on who you are. They were both ranked around similar values. I think Jameson was 28 and not 29. Right? Because if he likes Jameson more, take Jameson.
Yeah.
Now, when we kind of so then I called Brandon. So on my way to football practice, I called him and I said, "Hey, do you want to make this trade or not?" And he goes, "I do, but Emeka's might not play." And I said, "Okay, if I throw in Keon Coleman, can you throw in Colston Loveland, just so that I'm still getting a young player back?" And he goes, "Sure." He sends over the trade. And I just said, "Hey, if you're going to drop a player, just throw them in the trade," right? Because I'm sending 3, you're sending 2. Just whoever you're going to drop, just throw in. So he threw in Matthew Golden. Now, I like Matthew Golden, but I understand where he's coming from. That's who he's going to drop. Yeah. He's not starting for him. I'm going to throw him in. So I get it. I understand where he's coming from. But that's how we did that whole trade. It took all day.
Yeah.
It was a back and forth conversation. But I always go in with a fair starting offer. And then I don't start until I know where their interest, right? I'm interested in Lamar Jackson. Are you willing to trade him? I'm not going to go any further. If he goes, "No, I'm not interested in trading Lamar Jackson." Oh, cool.
You're not going to push any further. Yeah.
Right. So like
they're not. Yeah.
No, go ahead. No,
I was
you.
gonna say, I'm like, if they're not, like, no matter how many scenarios you can play in your head about like getting that player, if that person is not interested, I'm like, then why continue? I can understand that point. I would have done the same thing. It's like, I'm interested in this player. Do you have any interest in trading them? Well, no, not really, because I like them, or they're, I just don't want to get rid of them. Okay, fair enough.
Right. Because if he wasn't interested in trading Lamar, the problem with Brandon's team right now is he went really young. The only other player I would have had any semblance of interest in is RJ Harvey. And I don't mind doing a 1-for-1 trade, right? Like I'll trade you RJ Harvey, but I felt like he's a Broncos fan and I'm probably going to make an offer that he's not going to like, because while I like RJ Harvey, he's not performing. And I don't know if I really want to give up a great asset for a player that I have to sit on for a while.
True.
Right. So like, I'm probably going to just offer you like Keenan Allen, and that's the best offer I'm going to make.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to get that much.
No, I know. I'm just making fun of the Keenan Allen thing because of who Brandon is.
Yeah. But that would have been probably my next step. And then if he would have said no, he has Ladd McConkey, he probably wouldn't have been too interested in it. And I would have been like, I guess we're done. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind setting up a trade and going from there. So, just as an example, and I do want to get into this, I reached out to JJ. I said, hey, are you interested in trading any of your tight ends? He said he was. He floated me a trade. While I didn't think it was unfair, it wasn't a trade I'd be interested in because it would be getting rid of Nico Collins, who I truly believe in. So, I didn't think he offered me a bad trade, but it just, it was a non-negotiable for me. Like certain players on my team, I'm willing to trade, but I have to be getting the right value back. And I just didn't feel like I was getting the value back. So,
that you're looking for because JJ has multiple tight ends. You're just looking for a fill-in tight end until Kittle gets back. So
right. So for me, like trading Nico Collins, the trade I made with Brandon, he's getting a Emeka Egbuka, who we talk about the exception. He's the exception. I even think when Godwin comes back, every fantasy analyst is saying, oh, Emeka is going to go down once, Godwin comes back. It doesn't feel that way.
It seems like it's going to be Mike Evans.
Yeah. Emeka is doing stuff that, like, the reason I had a hard time trading him, and I ended up doing it because it was, Lamar, but Emeka is a rookie and in 2 weeks has already scored over 30 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Puka was doing. And at the end of the season that year with Puka, he was putting up 20 points a game.
Yep.
I drafted Emeka because I had a immense belief in him. I don't think it goes away. So, but you have to trade good value to get good value. Like I can't go, Brandon, give me this guy and I'll give you, my fifth starting tight end. Like, no.
Yeah, you want to try to make the trade fair for everyone involved, like best that you can. Like how you're getting
the best player,
the best player in the quarterback position right now, and then you're giving them potentially one of the best receivers probably by year end. So it's like you want to make the trade fair. You don't want to give him like, oh, I'm going to give you my wide receiver 3. That's probably going to finish, wide receiver 4.
Right. And I gave him Bo Nix. He's a Broncos fan. I knew he was interested in Bo Nix. I know, I'm a Broncos fan, but he likes Bo Nix, so he's not as worried.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he believes in him, so I know.
I had
much crap as we give him, I know how much he loves Bo Nix. So
right, and I had a significant advantage. I have Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Jameson Williams, and I have Emeka Egbuka, Keenan Allen, sitting on my bench. So I was kind of like, oh, you know what? I don't mind trading Emeka because I still have a starting yes, I got worse at flex, but I got better at tight end or at quarterback. So
yes,
it's okay.
I know. We had the conversation about your quarterback situation, so I remember.
Yeah. But I want you to tell everybody why I'm doomed.
Why you're doomed?
I know why.
Well, honestly, I was having this conversation earlier with Mike too, because I didn't know about the trade until he had texted me about it, and I told him this specifically that because he's like, Brandon and Steven always do these trades every year, and Steven always gets screwed. I'm like, yeah, I think it's going to be the opposite though this year because I think Brandon's going to get screwed instead of Steven this year. So I think that you're going to be fine and Brandon's going to get screwed this year because yes, lately, anytime for people that are watching this that don't know our league or anything like that, or if you do know this league and you don't pay attention and you're not paying attention to what happens between Steven and Brandon, this is what typically happens. They'll talk, they'll have a trade. It seems like, what are they doing this trade for? And like, what is the point of this? It's like Steven really just like screwed Brandon over like big time. And then we'll make fun of Brandon about it for a few weeks. And then when playoffs come around or near playoffs come around, Steven is screwed because in the end, Brandon got the better end of the trade. And Steven's like, you're dumb, Steven. What are you doing? Why'd you make that trade with Brandon?
I'll never forget 3 years ago, I got Ezekiel Elliott from him. I forget who I traded, but I got Ezekiel Elliott. And I remember Mike being like, man, he texted me. He's like, you screwed Brandon. Ezekiel Elliott proceeded to do nothing. And I did the math. I was so mad because I was so tired of being told like I screwed Brandon and then I lose. I did the math. If I would have kept whoever my running back was, and because I traded him like 2 players for Ezekiel Elliott, if I would have kept whoever my running back was, I would have won 2 extra games, made the playoffs, and probably would have gone into, I don't think I won the championship because I think my team wasn't good enough, if I remember, but I think I would have ended up with 1 or 2 extra wins into the playoffs. Like I would have made it right before the finals. And I was like, and I ended up missing the playoffs and I finished 9th. I was like, talk about like a swing of events where, Steven won the trade. And then I proceed to lose. Like, I think I made that trade. And the reason I made the trade is I was like 6-3 And I think I proceeded to lose every game after that. Like,
yeah, that checks out.
I was like, what is happening? And Zeke never looked the same. And I was just like, I remember being like, Brandon, I don't know if I want to make trades with you anymore. Like,
yeah, because last year was the Keenan Allen trade, right?
Yeah, I made the trade for Keenan Allen.
So yeah, so that's the other thing too, is you.
No, that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
Oh, is it 2 years ago? So yeah, so you anger the fantasy gods by doing that because of the name that he had for Keenan Allen.
So that's what I thought you were going to bring up. His team name is Lamar Azard.
I was going to bring that. Yeah, and I'm like, and you guys did it again. So actually, now that I think about it, maybe you are screwed.
Yeah.
Because you got his name was Lamar Azard, and now you just took his player from that name. And yeah, usually I remember the last time because his was Freifogel or something like that. Because it was
Allen, because it was a mistake on the
draft board.
Draft board.
And you made the fantasy gods angry from that, and he never changed his name. And I told him, like, you shouldn't change your name. You're screwing Steven over bad. So hopefully.
And then he did it, and I was like, damn it.
He should. Well, I'm going to tell him that he should do the same thing again and screw you over. So, because if he does change his name, then I think he'll be fine.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. No, my only concern, and I told Brendan this, is I like Lamar Jackson, but I also have Derrick Henry on the team.
I'm surprised he didn't go ask for him. I know how much he loves. I think the trade is as, I shouldn't say odd because it's between you and Brandon. You guys always do trades like this. I'm quite a little surprised that he did trade Lamar Jackson because I know how much he loves Lamar Jackson, and I'm a little surprised that he wouldn't have asked for like Derrick Henry or something like that. I get it, but at the same time, I'm like,
well, he's hurting at wide receiver, so like he started Keenan Allen or he started Keon Coleman this week. If Emeka Egbuka can go, he's going to start Emeka Egbuka. Like,
yeah.
His wide receiver depth he took a hit, like, and honestly, he is kind of fighting for his fantasy life right now. Like, I know that sounds kind of desperate. Ladd McConkey probably going to play. Jerry Jeudy has been terrible. Xavier Worthy, we're not sure if he's going to go. His other player is Wan'Dale Robinson. So
we just picked up. Yeah, so yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, like I get why he wanted Emeka. Like, hey, Emeka has been consistent. He's getting at least 15 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
And Bo Nix has underperformed 2 weeks ago, but last week he ended up scoring, 20-something? 26? Mm-hmm. So, okay, he's not as good as Lamar, but, like, Lamar last week had 34. It was 8 points less. You know what I mean? So, I got 0 or I got 3 from Jerry Jeudy. At least if I have Emeka, I'm going to get 12.
Mm-hmm.
I understand where his thought process was. I understand why he did it. I thought it was fair enough.
No,
right?
It is.
Like, he's getting – I think that's where people get confused on trades, and this is where I feel like trades always devalve, is somebody always feels like they have to win.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is, because I won't get into it, but, like, they're in some of the other leagues, like, I get random trades for, like, this and that. I'm like, what is your intent? And a lot of the time it's just that they're trying to look to win instead of trying to come to a common ground, like a 50-50 trade. Because that's how I look at trades. It's like, if you're needing something, there's something you're interested from me, then yes, let's try to talk about it and see what we can come to an understanding. Because, in the end, all of us want to win. But at the same time, like, we're playing in a league with our friends. This league, like, we've been doing this for a long time. It's like, I don't want to screw somebody over and be like that, because I'm like, I talked to this person, or like you, like, I don't want to screw you over on your team.
Right.
I'm like, it's a dick move.
Well, I think there's two parts to a trade, and this is where I think people confuse me, right? Because they want to win the first game. And I want to win fantasy too, because I want to talk smack. I want to talk how I beat you guys, whatever. But I'm also planning to play in this league again.
Yeah.
If everybody feels like every trade I make is a I'm going to win or I'm screwing you over, nobody's going to make trades with you.
No, not at all.
And that's what's starting to happen in our league. That's why I'm having this conversation. Everybody feels like everybody's out to get them. Oh, you're just trying to win this trade.
No.
And it's like, hey, this is why trades are hard, because everybody feels like they're going to lose. And you should feel like you lost and won a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, I love that I got Lamar Jackson. I hate that I gave up Emeka Egbuka. It's like, I don't feel great, but I also don't feel terrible.
Yeah, like, at the end, like, you're going to feel like you're gonna feel good, but then at the end when you go back and you look at your roster, like because I know we always constantly check our rosters like throughout Sunday until the games go live. It's like, oh crap, like that's when you realize you don't have a Buka, and like you're like, oh damn it, like it sucks.
Yeah,
so, but yeah.
So like it hurts because I really loved Ibuka. Like honestly, I think I talked to you about this. I honestly, in every league we're in, I did not draft Ibuka so that you guys wouldn't steal him from me because I didn't. I was like, I just want Ibuka. I just want him. So finally, when we got into that round, I was like, I'm taking Ibuka no matter what. Like I didn't care who else was on the board. I was not letting him fall past me in that round because I really liked him. But I also knew like, hey, sometimes you have to give up players you really, really like to get a player you really like.
To get a player that you think that can get you those wins that you think that you're looking for. And that's what Brandon needs because he's 0-2. So he feels like he needs to win now, and getting that win under his belt is what led to the trade. I totally understand.
And we might look back on this and Bo Nix and Emeka Ibuka might just blow up and I look like an idiot because Bo Nix ends up scoring as many as Lamar Jackson and Ibuka continues to put up his numbers. You know what I mean?
Well, if history continues, then yes, that will happen because you always get screwed in the end at the trade. Yep. So yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I'm expecting it. It's fine. It is what it is.
It's okay. Well, we'll come back here late at the end of the year. I'll laugh at you some more, and it's fine.
Yes.
It's okay.
All right. We're at an hour. I'm going to end it here. I appreciate you, Joe. Thank you for joining me. I really am hoping, I forgot already who I'm playing next week. Terrence, I'm hoping you can join me. I'll reach out to you earlier in the week. See if you can jump on, if any days work for you guys. Just appreciate everybody listening. I know I keep saying we're going to make these 30 minutes and then Joe and I go on random tangents. It's just what's going to happen. Like I'll keep trying to make these 30 minutes and I'll keep failing. So we're just,
it's just us two. Yes. I mean, I think if it's anyone else, I think you can keep it under 30 minutes, but with us two, it seems to be impossible now.
All right. But I'm out. Joe, thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, of course. Have a great night, everyone.